Both of these cameras share the same sensor, but why does one of them cost so much more than the other? The answer's simple. Or is it? We're gonna find out today. We're doing a no-nonsense comparison of the Canon C400 and the Canon C80 here at the beautiful island of Sanibel, starting with a low-light comparison. Now, it's important to note that both cameras have the 24-70 2.8 on, but one is the EF and one is the RF. So there might be a slight difference in sharpness, but it shouldn't be too noticeable, and I'll switch back and forth so it's fair game. So our first low light test is the beautiful Sanibel lighthouse. Sun is coming up, but I've stopped down 4 stops, so it's still pretty dark, and we're both at 12,800 ISO and base ISO set to 12,800. Next, we're gonna be testing 6K RAW. So obviously there's gonna be a lot more noise in both of these images, but what I'm curious to see is the difference between them two, because the C80 is shooting 6K light, which is about 400 megabits per second, and the C400 is shooting 6K HQ, which is about 1700 megabits per second. So drastic difference in file size. I'm curious to see what the noise looks like, and I'm really curious to see how it works once I start elevating the levels and stuff like that. Okay, but it's time to switch from the low light test to the dynamic range test because the sun is coming out. So right now, both cameras have been set to base ISO of 800, and we're just gonna let it roll. I'm gonna walk up there so we can get a little silhouette shot and kind of see how they both perform. Right now, we're both at XF AVC 480 megabits per second. In a second, we'll switch to RAW. Okay, well, it's hard to see a difference between them now. They looked exactly the same to me. The only thing I noticed was a bit more noise on the C400, but I think that's just because the screen is better quality. I can see the noise a little bit better. Past 20 minutes, I've been getting footage from both cameras, dynamic range and slow-mo. What I'm gonna do now is just get some wide comparisons. I'm mainly gonna be testing the raw light, raw HQ, because that's what I'm really interested in seeing. Yeah. Oh, I see. Fair enough.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Beautiful man. Beautiful man. Physically and spiritually. So anyway, we've got what we need here. So we're gonna wrap up and we're gonna go to another beautiful place and try to get some slow-mo comparison. There's a lot of birds, a lot of pelicans. There's another pelican. I've been waiting to get a pelican and a boat with the C80, and now everyone's everywhere. That's just how it goes. Anyway, it's not gonna faze me. Let's get the hat and let's get out of here. Let's get the flip out of here. Let's get the actual flip. Well, in the time it took me to film that intro, I've been marooned. I lost all my land. That's all I have left. And now, I must wade through the abyss to get back to civilization. Will I make it? I don't know. But one thing I do know is when it's Florida man versus water, Florida man always wins. Come save me. I'm gonna take a little time out. By the way, the bag I'm using is the F-Stop Talopa 50 liter, and it is absolutely insane. I mean, actually, I'll just show you. I'll show you real quick. Ouch, ouch, I'm bruised and battered. Look at that. C80, C400. Yeah, so comfortable. So we're gonna just talk a little bit, talk about why I wanted to do this video. By the way, if you want to skip to the next portion, go right here, because I think I have heat exhaustion, heat stroke or whatever, heat something. I haven't really eaten much. I've just been drinking energy drinks, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to say. Luckily, I did write a pro and cons list during lunch. We're going to go through it. But if you want to skip all this, it might be a good idea, not going to lie. Just go right here to the next part. Just go there. Right here. It's like a little Tinkerbell. Go there. Reason I wanted to do this video is because I've had these cameras for about a year now, both of them, and I've never really done a comparison, especially with the RAW. So I really wanted to see what they're side by side, because I'm going on a trip and I'm trying to figure out what camera to bring. I want to bring the C400, but I'm starting to think I need to bring the C80. So that's what this was about. And if I have that question, I'm sure other people do too. So that's what this video, that's why this video was birthed. So before we say anything else, the facts are, same sensor, different body, different purposes. This is just my opinion. Studio, production, commercial, controlled environments, controlled shoots. This is where this camera shines. Run and gun. Fast, you need light, you need to be quick on your feet. You know, you know, you want max quality, but you also don't want to have a big camera that you have to monitor for and all this kind of stuff. A solo run and gun shoot. Boom, 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 C80. Or perfect B cam for the A cam. A few things you can't deny. This does shoot 6K RAW, 60 FPS. That's a huge advantage over the C80. Also, RAW HQ, 700 megabits versus the Lite 480. So, more information, VFX, post-work, grading. Okay, we're gonna start with pros for the C400. Just talked about it, 6K, RAW, 60 FPS. Huge. It is beautiful. Bottom line, it looks amazing. Second one, RAW HQ, higher bitrate, 1700. This one now, C400 now has open gate, which is nice. I assume the C80 will get that also, but I don't know. It has one CF Express card plus SD card, which is really nice. I love CF Express. Expensive, but fast transfers, and they're heavy duty. I like them, they feel good in the hand, like a little piece of Bhaskar metal. Both have time code, both have XLR, both have two mini XLRs, not full-size XLRs. There's more physical buttons on the C400, more customizable, and then there's more already mapped buttons, you know, for higher productions and stuff like that. More customization. All right, cons. Biggest, I don't even know if I'd say the biggest con, but one of the most biggest inconveniences is the monitor. You either gotta have an external monitor or the included one. It's just a drag sometimes. You know, right now I don't have a handle on there. So I had to put the natal rail on there. Either I could put the handle, then a monitor, or just the monitor, which is what I've been doing. Sometimes it's a drag. You know, the bottom line is if these two cameras are sitting on the desk and something crazy happens and I gotta grab one of them to film, I'm always gonna go for the C80. Always. Grab it, flip it, record it. Grab it, flip it, record it. More setup time. Files for the RAW are ginormous. And then I have one con that's for both of these. That's a big one. C80 Pros. Obviously, size, weight, ease of use. This thing is Orlando. This thing is a beauty. It's so light, it's so easy. It's just it's just nice to use. So that's a big trade-off. Trade-off weight, size, usability for higher quality. You make the decision. Flip screen, easy to operate. Oh, big one. Much more gimbal friendly. Not to say you can't use this with a gimbal, but you usually have to remove the handle, gotta remove the monitor or just figure out where else to rig it, gotta take off all the cage crap. It's just easier to use this, always. It's always easier. Not impossible to use this, always easier to use this. I use this with the gimbal all the time. Travel friendly, of course, they're both travel friendly. I've traveled all over the place with this one. Especially with this bag, you can put both of them. So they're both really equally travel friendly, depending on what bag you have. So that's it. It does have 2 SD cards, which I think is a con. I would like to have a CF Express card. I don't know why. R5, R6, C50, I'm pretty sure. Why can't they put it in here? It's second in command. Give it a CF Express. Cons, no 6K raw 60 FPS, SD cards that limit the data rates. Fewer buttons, but I think it's fine. I wouldn't even really say it's a con. I mean, it is, but you don't need more than there is. It's perfect. This camera, the layout's pretty much perfect. Yeah, that's it. Now, major con for both of these cameras that I just think is unacceptable. No 6K compressed, no XFAVC, no 6K without the RAW. If I want to shoot 6K, I have to shoot RAW. Why? Why would they do it? I mean, maybe there's an answer, but I can't think of it. Surely there's some technical reason, but that doesn't make any sense. Also, why no 4K RAW? 6K RAW, no 4K RAW? That's stupid. That's dumb. Both of those are dumb. These cameras, especially, maybe not this one, fine. This camera, for the price, it should have 4K RAW and it should have regular 6K. I shouldn't have to use RAW, just use 6K. That doesn't make any sense and it should change. I know you can do the little cropped 4K RAW thing. I'm not about it, not cropping. This camera should have 6K, regular video, and it should also have 4K RAW. I'm not happy about it. If it had those things, I don't even think you need to make a video. That would set this so apart. It's frustrating me. Yeah, so that's the two big things. And that's really it. So that's my little rapid fire round of pros and cons. I'm excited to see how these stack up because that's a question I've had for a while, mainly the RAW, and I really just want to see the slow-mo. I know it's gonna be a difference, but how much of a difference? Because that's a huge factor. So it really just depends on the job you're doing and what kind of work you do. If you're sitting there trying to figure out which one to buy, what are you gonna use it for? If you're only doing real estate videos, you know, some hype videos, some commercial work, I think you'll be fine with this one. If you're doing mainly corporate stuff, mainly commercials, C400's your baby. It's that simple. But we're gonna know a lot more once we get into the editing room and see what we see. That's when it all changes. All right, so we're gonna go back and try to get some more footage. Okay, we've just gotten the last bit of footage. Beautiful sunset. We got a sunrise and sunset here at Sanibel. Good day. 25,000 steps. My feet are punctured and bleeding, so is my knee, but that's all good. We got a lot of footage to go through, so we're gonna get out of here, get some energy drinks, and see what this footage looks like on the big screen. Okay, now let's take a closer look at these images. I'm gonna speed run this because this video is already like 16 minutes. So, starting with the low light test, it's very interesting. Right now I have noise reduction on both of these. Gonna take them off. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Not a huge difference, I'll tell you that right off the bat. Let me delete these. Boop. Not a huge difference at all. Let's do this little number. I mean, looking at that, you really won't see much of a difference. Even if you zoom in, it's very similar. Not that there's no noise, but the noise is very much the same on both of them. Now remember, C400, 4K, HQ, C80, 4K light. It's a big difference, a huge difference in file size. Absolutely huge. So if I just take this up, let's just take it up, take it up, take it up, take it up. And then let's take a look. C400 is on the left, C80 is on the right. You know, really not seeing much difference. They don't look amazing. Like there's definitely a lot of noise, but I mean, some very basic noise reduction gets you pretty close. So this is C400. Like you can really see it bad here in the shadows. So I would just, you know, just take down some of this. Look at that. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. But the same exact thing with the C80. Pretty much same image. So I've looked at it pretty intensely, pretty in depth, and really, really not much of a difference. So this is a 300mm shot of the sun. Very beautiful. I mean, that is about as Florida as it gets. And kind of the same thing. This is C400 6K RAW HQ against the light for the C80. And basically, if you just take the HDR, and I kind of want extreme with it, I want to get the sun basically right on this white line. Copy and paste. Whoops, copy and paste. Sorry, I got a new mouse, the Logitech mouse, and I'm kind of getting used to it. I also got a new monitor, so everything's new. Again, really not much of a difference. There's a tiny bit, you might notice that the C80 is a tiny bit brighter. That's because it was taken about a minute after the sun's a bit higher. I think that's why, like if you look here, you know, the C400 is a bit darker. It looks like you're getting more detail in the sun, but that's just because the clouds are in front of it. Again, I really don't see much of a difference. Here, let me turn the noise reduction off. This is kind of like a shadow recovery. And again, it's very similar. I think there might be a little bit more saturation in the noise. You have C80 on the right, C400 on the left. But yeah, it's really, I'm not seeing anything crazy. Remember, this is 1700 megabytes versus around 500. I forget exactly what it is, but it's drastic. File sizes for these things are huge. 512 gigabyte card, you get about 31 minutes on the C400. So there's that. Add a little noise reduction to both of them, and it cleans them up both pretty nice. So this is C400 with noise reduction. Not saying it's usable, but, and I don't know when you'd use this, but like, you know, it's not bad. C80, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. I did notice, I'm actually going to reset all that. I did notice one thing though. 1 second. Okay, so if you take this and just take down the highlights, say 100%, copy and paste. So I'm going to take a screen, going to take a still of the C400. Okay, so I noticed this. You can see that the C400 here on the right preserves the detail and the exposure around the sun a lot better than the C80. So that's C80, C400 here. C80, C400. And these are taken within like a minute of each other. So the difference in how high the sun is not here. So you can just see that as I pull it back, it just gives me a little bit more room. You can see it there on the bottom right as well in the waveform. So that is C400. That is C80. It's slight, but it is there. Very slight. I basically just went extreme, brought down the exposure a lot on this image, and I literally see no difference. Oh shoot. Literally see no difference. Pretty much the same. So, And then with the slow-mo, really, which, I mean, I'm not surprised. The only difference I see is the kind of the same thing. You can see on the left on the C400, it preserves the highlights a little bit better. C400, C80, and then of course resolution. It is 6K versus 4K, so that's to be expected. I do want to point out this shot. This is the C400 RAW ST 60 FPS, and just the detail. This is pretty crazy. I can literally see the water drops off this Pelican. Watch this. You see there's a water drop there, water drop here. I mean, it is so detailed. Going right in front of the sun, and then like, look at this. Look at this water drop right on the end of the beak. That is so detailed. So that is just a beautiful shot, and if I wanted to, I can even bring the shadows up a little bit more. Give it a little bit more contrast. I would never use a shot like this. I'm just kind of throwing things around here. But yeah, I mean, it is beautiful. And by the way, let me just double check. Yeah, there's no noise reduction on this, and the shadows look perfect. Like, this is very impressive. I'm very, very impressed and very happy with this shot. Like, no noise, beautiful detail, autofocus is amazing. I mean, it's just really nice. And then I got this shot with the C80 of a boat. Again, a lot of detail, very beautiful. I mean, you can definitely tell, especially here on the edges. I don't know if you can tell on YouTube, but definitely a shift in quality. But of course, it's 6K versus 4K. Let's just see. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but this is just so crisp, and it kind of looks a little fuzzy. Not fuzzy, but like, you know, you can tell that there's a quality loss. But the difference isn't drastic, and honestly not nearly as drastic as I thought it would be. So that leads me to the conclusion of, will I take the C80 or the C400? And I think I'm gonna go with the C80. I mean, looking at all these images, it's just not drastic enough. The quality jump is not big enough for me to justify taking the C400 with the extra monitor, the extra weight, extra power consumption. And this is gonna be very run and gun, very, you know, there's gonna be some hiking involved. Yeah, I am gonna miss the 6K RAW, the 6K RAW 60 FPS. It is nice, but is it worth losing a lot of shots due to setting stuff up, you know, extra weight, you gotta bring extra stuff? It's just not. So bottom line, difference is not nearly as big as I thought it would be, especially for how massive the file sizes are. So yeah, that is it. They're both beautiful cameras. All these images are amazing. Just for me, I'm gonna be picking the C80 a lot more often, I think. So that concludes this video. We made a lot of progress today. We got a lot done. Thanks for watching. It was a long one. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to take a look at, and we'll head back to Sanibel. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you. See you on the next one. See you sometime. Thanks.